Hello my dear sewing friends, it's Alisa here, and today we have week 4 of Me Made May. I gotta tell you, time flies so fast. I can't even believe that it's already the end of May. It is just in a blink and it's gone. It's unbelievable. And this week has been just as jumbled up as a previous week. So today you're going to see quite a bit of color. You're going to see quite a few interesting outfits because we did have a couple of events to go to this week, which doesn't happen too often. As I mentioned before, we usually lead rather simple life, but this week you're going to see some of that and quite a few interesting sleeves. So I truly hope that you're going to enjoy. And let's start with Monday. It is day 19 and I have a class to attend and a pile of work to do after that. So it was really nice outside and therefore I opted for a little pop of color and a fun sleeve. And I love that it has a little bit of movement to it, and I call this type of sleeve a butterfly sleeve. The reason for it is how it was drafted, and here I pulled a little bit of the original video from the tutorial that I made, and you can see that it is all cut as one piece with the bodice. Now on the bottom, I have my favorite handmade wide leg denim pants. To complete the outfit, add sunglasses if weather calls for it, purse, and orange shoes for a little bit more of that pop of color, and I am good to go. On Mondays, my daughter has a gym day at school, one of her favorites, so she's wearing a handmade set of top and shorts. So for my daughter, I usually have about 10 tops and about 10 bottoms ready to go. So that's enough outfits because I do wash them after every school day. So that way I have enough for about 2 weeks or about a week and a half. And then I do the laundry. So you will see some repeating outfits. And I like that because I want the clothes to be worn out by the end of their life. I want them to be ready for rags. I know that it might sound a little bit weird, but I do feel that kids need less clothes than we actually think, and sewing for my daughter has clearly shown that to me. Plus, I don't necessarily have anybody to pass these clothes down. We do have younger kids in our family circle, but they're like 5-6 years younger, so by the time they're ready for these clothes, the parents might not like them, the fashion might change, the color preference and whatnot. So I really try to make sure that the clothes are good for this appropriate age, and by the end of their wear, they are done. Now, before the kids' clothes hit that complete rag stage, I usually retire them to home and craft clothes, and that has worked out for us really well. On Tuesday, I was knee-deep in work, so I'm in my home clothes and I'm working away. Now, when I first made this cardigan, I wore it out and about, but this year I discovered just how nice it is to wear it at home, so I retired it and now it's part of my home clothes. Underneath, I have an upcycled top, and on the bottom, I have handmade knit pants. Now, I realized that I kind of look like a beige onion, and that's because I work in the basement, and here, sometimes it does get really chilly. My daughter had an alphabet fashion show, so her letter was B and she went as a banana. The t-shirt is store-bought, but I did the graphics on it, and shorts are a recent upcycle from jeans. Wednesday is a busy day of work, plus I'm filming, so I'm wearing one of my favorite sweaters with this reverse rose applique. Now, many of you have asked, how does this technique hold up against wash? And I'm happy to report that 1.5 years in, it's going strong through many washes and many wears. On the bottom, I'm wearing knit jogger pants. Both tutorials are available on the channel. Now, my daughter wore a very simple but very fun combo of a raglan sleeve t-shirt and a skirt. The skirt here has a fun story to it because it was the first item of clothing that my daughter made almost entirely by herself. Of course, I helped with directions of what to fold where, what to sew where, and I did help with pressing the fabric. But other than that, the entire sewing machine part of the process was definitely up to her, and she did it. On Thursday, I had another class to attend and a ton of work to get done, and I was a little bit in a rush getting ready in the morning, so this is a great no-fail option. A cute blouse with a bright print and wide leg pants. Now this blouse, as simple as it might seem, is actually quite special because almost the entire blouse, except for one little detail on the inside, is sewn by hand. And the reason why there's one detail that was done on the serger is because I added the sleeves after the original blouse was made. So I wanted a little bit of coverage over here, so I added a little ruffle sleeve. But other than that, it's entirely made by hand. And that definitely makes it not only special to wear, but also reminds you that your hands are capable of so many things. And if you think that perhaps a sewing machine can't do the job, then your hands most likely can. So definitely don't discount hand sewing. Thursdays are gym days at school for my daughter, so she's wearing an upcycle t-shirt and circle culottes. Basically, when they're on the body, they look like you're wearing a skirt, but they're actually shorts, which makes it a win-win kind of situation for those active little girls that still want to wear something that sort of looks like a skirt, but it's practical like a pair of shorts. And it's so easy to draft these. I definitely encourage you if you want to give it a try. On Friday, we had a school event to attend, and I wanted something that's kind of right in the middle. Not too simple, not super special, so that way I don't feel too underdressed or too overdressed. And this was a great choice. And I love that on one side, we have just a regular set-in sleeve, but on the other one, we have that flounce that sort of serves the role of the sleeve. And I love how it adds a little bit of that visual interest and a little bit of intrigue to this otherwise very simple top. I don't know what it is, but orange lately has been definitely calling my name as a color, so I do love to pair this top with these orange flats and of course wide leg pants on the bottom. Bonus points for this top because it was made from fabric remnants and fabric scraps, so it makes it even more special and adds that sort of like satisfaction that you made something out of whatever was left from other projects. And if you want to see a full process of how this top came about, there's a video that outlines everything: the drafting, the sewing, and the troubles along the way. My daughter wore this sweet strawberry dress for this occasion. On top we have a puff raglan sleeve, and on the bottom for the skirt, it's a full circle, so it's extra twirly. A dress like this comes together quick and easy, and I do find that it's really easy to dress it up and to dress it down, which means that it's getting a lot of wear. Now, a fun fact about this blouse is that the sleeve here is actually a flounce and the fabric wasn't originally white. The print is handmade. So if you want to take a look how this top came about from fabric scraps plus some added mixed media, then click right over here. It was definitely an interesting experience and I hope that you're going to enjoy it as well. Until next time, I wish you happy sewing, happy wearing. I'll see you very soon in another video. Bye!